What's up, everybody? I'm back with another episode of the Keep Going podcast. Today I have a special guest, Mr. Kid Lennon. He's an Oklahoma-based artist and a musician known for blending vibrant visual art with soulful, thought-provoking music. Formerly performing under the name Chief Peace, Kid Lennon began his creative journey as a street performer, captivating crowds in the heart of Oklahoma City with live painting and rapping. He's been a friend of mine since high school. He's a wonderful soul, truly bet on himself, and has built his career and his life from the ground up. From homeless to many accomplishments, this man has a hell of a story. I'm so thankful for his time. Also thankful that he was able to open up some discussion with me about my past and what we've been through together and separate. It's always nice to give flowers to each other and understand that as long as we're present and enjoying this journey, we're doing it the right way. Barrett, I appreciate you so much, man. I hope you all enjoy this episode. As always, keep going. Well, bro, I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for having me, brother.
And thanks for having me in your space. That's the blessing of being a mobile pod. And wow, Jimmy, just look that cute. Wow. And wag your tail when I'm talking to you.
He needed that.
But no, the space is perfect. It fits your personality. I appreciate you having me. And I know we've been trying to get it scheduled, but I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, I tell a lot of people about your stuff. I'm like, it's really cool to see what you're doing, too.
Thank you.
To be a part of it.
It means a lot from when they say you get support from like the day ones, but then you get support from people you're just meeting and there's benefits to both. It always does feel really cool when someone that I grew up with shows some love. It's just different.
Dude, but yeah, that's the coolest part. I'm like, not only you're happy and healthy, you're like thriving in multiple areas while pushing, like you said, showing up for something that like no one's making you show up to, bro. That's kind of what all this art world I dove into is about. It's like, yeah, no one tells you to do any of this. It's just because you want it in the world. That's cool that you're doing that, dude.
I love that you say that because I interviewed someone the other day and he said that too. He's like, you're making time for things that like no one's forcing you. And I never thought of it like art. So that's a great
you're making art, bro. Yeah, I think of it like that. Like you're creating of any kind is like rare. Making something tangible, making something actually tangible is weird, especially in like an internet age.
So where are we at as far as years that we've known each other? So at least since like 2008. So we're almost at the 20-year mark.
I thought it was weird when you said we grew up. I said, I forget we grew up together because I always felt so foreign to the people at Southmore because I was the new kid or whatever. So I still feel that where I'm like, I'm the outsider. I didn't really get to grow up with anyone. I feel like everyone knew each other for so long, played Little League together.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I had some of that, like Sydney I've known since I was 8 years old, but a lot of it was like junior high and then a ton was high school when it blended.
I felt like y'all just knew each other probably since you were 4 years old.
Yeah, the only one is Sydney.
Sydney, yeah, she's the best, bro. Yeah, another one thriving.
But I think it's crazy too, because not everyone growing up like strives for something. So even that day that my wife and I went to sushi and then saw you, even just catching up with you, it's like, man, I'm glad they're still living. It doesn't have to be like in a business sense or a money sense or anything, even though those are benefits. Yeah, it's like you're still living good,
happy and healthy, bro.
Thank goodness. Like, what a blessing.
That's really the thing. When I see anyone, I'm like, you good? I don't really give a shit if you're I don't care what your job is, honestly. I'm just like, are you good? Like, how are you? Right? Are you thriving?
Good is so huge.
Yeah. And that's all I care about. I'm like, I don't really care. Yeah, business wise,
that's what we have to do.
Yeah, and that's silly. It's funny, dude. It's definitely just a necessary evil. I'm so big on like, especially like lately, I'm like, life's not like a question to be answered. It's like an experience to be had. I'm like, we're really giving ourselves so much like responsibility unnecessarily, So I'm like,
that's always going to be a crazy balance.
Yeah, because also you want to do something great in the world for what's left here, while also realizing you're like on a floating rock. Okay, dude, you're gonna have to lay down.
Nipper,
get over here.
Hey, it's cool. Man, so I know we talked about it a little bit, but
this is crazy, bro.
This is fun.
You gotta go.
If he's chilling, he's chilling.
What are you doing?
I know, like, you were one of the first ones after high school, like, taking off, living up here in the city, doing your thing. I still remember coming to your apartment for a party, and it was the first time I'd ever been to the Paseo.
That's
and I was
crazy.
like, man, this looks a little ghetto at the time. And you're like, it kind of is, but you were thriving. And then I know you had started music and things like that, but I don't really know, like, the origin. So I wanted to know, like, what led you to that? What led you to do what you were doing? Because it seems like you started pretty young.
Yeah, dude. I guess in that sense, it was young. I'm like, you always look at the kids who like figured it out younger. Where I'm like, yeah, I was, but yeah, definitely right at senior year, I knew like I was going to go for art and music for sure. I was like, I'm not going to college. I'm good. I was like, honor society, Stuco president, all these scholar athlete all through like junior high, just to realize like by high school that like, oh, I don't think that's my even path. So by senior year, I was like nearly failing everything purely out of like, I just got to pass. Yeah. Cause I think art was always something on the back end I didn't think I would do, but music was like, all right, everyone was having fun and freestyling, and Lil Wayne is this thing, and like we're all freestyling and no ceilings. And it was the first time that like, yeah, after I stopped doing sports like so hard, that first time that like I got recognition where it's like, oh, okay, I think I am a little bit better than the homies that are freestyling. It was like, oh, and I do get the concept of writing a full song or like adding a hook or, yeah. And I think the first few homies are like, this is tight. I was like, that gave me all the green light. And it was delusional confidence because like it wasn't good, but it was something and it was tangible. Like I said, it was finally, I was creating something tangible. I didn't want to just draw. I knew how to draw my whole life, but like, to me, that's like a weird flex to be like,
I don't know. Drawing's pretty damn cool.
Eventually it became the thing where it was like, I didn't plan on doing art at all. It was like, I'm going to be a rapper. And then I was working hella jobs, realizing like, oh yeah, there's like people who like need these random tattoo drawings. Okay, I can do that for them. And then there's someone who wants a painting. Let me learn to paint. I like painted for the first time doing an order,
Oh, wow.
And then every painting was an order that I did until last year. Like I'd done orders for my first like 10 years of painting from the first painting. Yeah. So I finally got to like figure out these things where it's like, I want to paint something for me now. That's what all these you see now are like, oh, cool. This is what I want to paint. But
well, it's cool that you have creative outlets in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Verbally and like physically, I guess.
I kind of gets it all. Yeah. It checks the boxes, dude. So yeah, it was more of like, all right, I know I want to rap. I went for that full time, realized, oh, I'm in the middle of Oklahoma. I don't even know where to record a song. I don't know where to book a show. I don't know what to do. So that's when it was like, all right, go down to like this arts district, because I knew it was called the arts district. And it was like, all right, I would paint for an hour, rap for an hour every day in the street. It was just downtown.
Just in the street.
Yeah, dude, wow. And then eventually literally like, you gotta go. You're getting your feet in his face. Go. You got it. Yeah, dude, I would just do it in the street every day and like haul all my fucking paint and a big speaker and just kind of switch off. And then I was doing it one time downtown or the Paseo, and the Hubbly Bubbly like owner had walked by and I was like, hey, do you want to like come start doing stuff like this at the spot? And it was like this weird, yeah. Like, okay, now I have a fucking hub to do it at.
Right.
Yeah, but definitely just like, hey guys, I do shit.
That's
I thought I would just get crowds. I thought I was like so rad, but it would sometimes downtown. I made good money enough to realize like, oh, I could like probably do this full time if I put my all in. So I put my all in,
That's crazy though, because that has to be so hard to think. Let me paint for an hour or draw for an hour and rap for an hour in public. Like just sitting there.
Yeah, and just on like hot ass days, right after like a shift always, I was laying floors every day for 12 hours. So it was like, dog, I would like get done laying floors, try to wipe the dust off and like go down there, do it. My back hurt so fucking bad. Then I would wait tables at the arena at night, for the games and shit. Wow. Then go back out and try to catch that crowd. It's like, all right, cool. There's like thousands of people pouring out of the arena. Now I got to go back out there and.
Wow. I had no idea about that. That's like the foundation that most people want to do. It's just like in real estate when there's so much time that you don't get paid, especially when you're starting out. There's so much time.
Hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude,
yeah, you had to really dedicate.
Dog,
holy shit.
Yeah, I didn't really get it. I really had this old school approach of like, open mics and go street performing. I didn't really even understand the internet. I didn't know how to upload songs till like 2016. Like by the time I was already blowing up with Shaq and Hippie Kid, it wasn't even on anything but like SoundCloud because a homie put it on there. Yeah, and I was like, fuck. Like,
well, take me through that. So you start getting some traction, and then like 2015, 2016, you start picking up, or what?
Yeah, it was just at the same place, Hubbly. At the same place. Eventually, like I'd hosted 300 art shows. I was doing art shows, open mics, and poetry nights. I was hosting all three. And then literally one night during the finals, after I worked at the arena and saw Shaq at the arena, I was like, oh, look, he's down there. He walked into the poetry night at Hubbly Bubbly.
What are the chances of that?
Fucking, it was Westbrook's little brother. Ray.
Okay.
Ray went there and he would study up there. But I guess Shaq was in town and was like, where's a good hookah bar? And he told him, just so happened to be the night, dog. It was some weird.
Wow.
He walked in and it was poetry night. I was like, I'm rapping. And I literally told the crowd, I was like, hey guys, I'm going to do a song real quick. And I went and just like plugged my phone in and like did 2 songs. First one, he like kind of poked his head out and didn't say anything. And then I did Hippie Kid and he like, and enjoyed it. And then like called me to the VIP after and was like, will you do it again? And then I was like, if you be my hype man. And that was like the smartest shit because that video like went on TMZ and all. That's what actually got the traction. It would have just been like a fun
moment to remember.
And it's still, yeah. But I woke up the next morning, I was like, that was like a fever fucking dream. I was like, if I woke up and it's like Shaq came to the open mic last night, like that would be just as believable as nothing else. Like,
it's wild that you took the initiative though. There's a lot to say about like taking action in any field. And you're like, here's an opportunity. Because most people just let it slide by.
I was searching for it. I was very aware that like I know what song I would do if someone famous comes up or whatever with someone else. I know exactly because like it's like Kevin Durant had already been there to Hubbly Bubbly and we all like rapped for him and I remember being like, I know exactly what I should have done better. And my homie like ended up getting to go to the studio with him the next time he came and I was at home watching Netflix and I remember being like, all right, no more Netflixing ever. And I gave my TV away the next day. I was so like fucking manic about it. I was like, fuck this.
But you were committed.
So I knew at that point, like, you don't fuck it up. Like if someone walks in, this is a real opportunity to like, do something because you are in Oklahoma. Who the fuck is going to give you a spotlight, So I think that was kind of just already implemented from like learning lessons,
I remember that time because obviously we grew up around each other. So I'm going to follow you. But to get the context is so much cooler.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're like, no, I'm gonna take the risk because he could have easily just chilled.
I know.
Wow.
I thought he was. He didn't say shit at first, and then they're like, "He wants to see you back there." He was like in the back room. I was like, "Yeah." Then he like handed me his phone and he was like, "Tweet it out." And I was like, "I don't have it like out. I have like a SoundCloud link." Yeah, and I like kind of tweeted that. Yeah. I was like, "What do you want me to say?" He's like, "Whatever."
Which is crazy too because he's such a big human. I know that's not like that
it
important,
was the
but
first
he's so
thing
massive.
That's when I was hosting, so literally seeing that giant, someone walk by, literally was
literally a giant.
Yeah, and I was like, oh. I do remember shaking his hand, and it was like the longest, it like took so long to get
it like
to
rubbed
the
down
finger.
your forearm?
Yeah, I like was like, whoa, I was like, holy shit, That was the one thing I noticed. I was like, that's a different human, dude. Nice as shit, dude. Gave me hella pointers. We hung out the next night. Like literally, he's like, what are you doing tonight? And he was still in town, and we just me and him hung out, and like, he showed me all his old songs and beats and
wow.
Yeah, played Hippie Kid as he drove off that night. And I was like, this is the weirdest.
That's
like,
so unreal.
It was, bro. I was like, I don't know what to even say. And it was one of those things where it was heavy because I was like, I was kind of alone in this journey at that time. So I didn't call anyone. I had 0 people to call, I remember like kind of telling myself, like, I'm proud of me, dude, and not to make it all deep and sad, but it's a big thing to
That's
be like,
important.
all right, you probably like should have focused also on having people to share this with, and I'd kind of like distanced from the high school group because of some fuckery, and I moved to the Paseo by myself and was like, I'm going to make new friends, but no one was close enough to call. Wasn't talking to my family at the time.
Shit.
Yeah, it's intense, bro. Yeah, so I think that's one thing. Like, if anybody's even, not that I have any advice, but fuck, dude.
You got advice.
Yeah, keep people. Find some people to share it with because something cool is fucking happening. You're just like, all right, and then you go home and you sleep in the same bed and you do the same shit instead of being like, hey, this happened,
Well, a lot of people don't talk about that stuff. That's why it's so important. Like, and it's crazy because I think about it because there's people in my life that don't have people. And man, when I'm like going through it, I do have people I can call, or if I'm just like hype. So sometimes I'll call James or Sydney just because something positive
people
happened.
are just as important, bro. It's like the sad calls. Like
I'm just like, hey man, I just did this. It's really cool. And I just wanted to share it with somebody. So the fact that you had this like monumental moment, this affirmation moment, and you couldn't share it.
That's when I had to reevaluate. That's when I like took the buzz for a year or two. And then I was like, I gotta go. And like my family's in Kai's like, I gotta go like reconnect. My little brother used to be my best friend. I haven't talked to my mom since I was kicked out. My sister and me fight anytime we talk because we lost our bond. Like, yeah, I don't have homies, so I just literally like moved to Cali in the fucking Volkswagen. It was like,
so when was that when you moved to California?
by like 2018, you know, I like did the thing and used the Shaq leverage to like open for anybody, open for Wayne and Migos and all this shit where it's like I did everything I felt like I'd do in Oklahoma, and I was like, I felt like I hit a plateau. And I was like,
How was
all right.
it like, or what was it like opening for those people? That's like a huge jump from going from Hubbly Bubbly to opening for Wayne.
And it was within like a month and a half. I was like, oh my God.
How'd you keep your shit together and like perform well? Because I
Delusional
feel like I'd be
confidence.
so nervous. You're so just a man?
Yeah, I literally just like felt, because I'd done so many open mics being like, I'm ready for any.
So many reps.
Yeah, I'm so ready, bro. And like, yeah, I opened for the randomest people like Game and Migos, and like not every crowd, surprisingly the Games crowd loved me. But there are some crowds where it's like, I shouldn't be on this show, bro. Like when I opened for the Migos, I had to like make a song the day before to like have at least one song that the crowd would fuck with. But that's
so scary. And the fact you made it feel normal is crazy. That shows you're on the right path, or you were on the right path at the time.
Yeah, like, for sure. And it was a vibes, and I still use those connections. Lil Wayne's drummer and producer comes over here, like flies in and comes here for photo shoots and studio session. We still connect and still trying to get that Wayne feature.
That'll be wild.
It'll happen. It's on it this year. Pharrell and Wayne, but that's my
legendary
goal. I know. I'm still like trying to work with old goats. I don't give a fuck.
That's not. But when you say that, those are the people that like stand out to me too.
They're the reason I started doing this, dude.
I mean, Wayne was like the soundtrack of our junior high school life.
Yep.
Like,
yeah. And it stuck. He is the reason I started doing this. It was a thing where I watched a documentary. It was like, that looks fun. I was like, that's everything I've been trying to figure out. I want to like just hang out with friends, make stuff, goof around, travel around. I was like, that's pretty much exactly what I'd like to do. Yeah.
So when you opened for all those people, it was here, and then you moved to California after that?
Yeah. After I like felt like I hit a plateau. I had a business deal fall through with this fucking billionaire dude where I was like, yeah, this $250,000 deal. It just like fell through because of whatever at the time, and really it was something on his end, and you know, he's going through.
But that taught you how to push through.
Yeah, and it sucked where I was like, I felt like dreams were coming true, and it completely just like, where I was like, cool, but what all you do, just keep opening for people. Like, you're not getting anything. No one comes to shows and is like, you got a record deal. It's like, you got to work the internet. I don't know the internet.
And it's not really your style anyway.
Yeah, and I look back and I was like, I probably could have spent like half of those open mics learning to use the internet better. It would have been useful, like, to find your people outside of here, because there's more of your people out there.
Man, it's a weird balance though, because like there's something to say about just putting in the work, but there's also something with the technical side.
Working smarter, not harder. Yeah. Where I was like, I was pure like grit. This will do it. And then I was like, well, then, like, I had record labels approach me, and they're literally like, we don't sign anyone with less than 30,000 followers. It's just a rule.
You're like, I don't even care about social media.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm trying to change the world. That was my thing. I was like, I'm trying to fucking like change. You think I give a fuck? Like, we'll find our people. Technically, it takes 8,000 people to change the world. I was giving all these facts. They're like, well, it's just our role. Like, and I get it. I was like, yeah, you gotta have. You're a number. You're a product, but. It is weird, and now that I have all those, and I still get random offers, I'm like, I don't know if that's even the goal anymore. Life's definitely evolved, you know, rap's evolved.
What was California like for you? What'd you do out there?
Lived in a fucking Volkswagen bus for 9 months, and
fucking cool.
Tried to like reconnect with my family, and
they live out there, you said?
Yeah. So I would go to lunch with my mom a lot, and hang out with my brother and try to remind him how close we were before like I got older, and he was so young because he's 12 years younger, but get back to being best friends with him. Yeah, it was really just like, okay, cool. And once I got that going, I was like, all right, let me try to make my some moves. Yeah. And I was just like fucking sitting at Panera every day, charging my shit. And like, I underestimated the bus thing. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous.
It was just hard.
Yeah, just shitting, showering at the gym, working in your car all day. Can't invite anybody over. I'm a networking. I got to be able to do something. Yeah, I can't record music, can't paint.
So you couldn't record like in the van if you had the right setup?
If the problem was the power, it's such an old van. I would try to plug a fucking. I thought I had it set up when I left. I had this thing with an outlet, and the moment I just, I was like, oh my god! And I like was getting broker and broker every week. I was spending like $200-300 a week just to keep it running. You know,
you have to go by the mechanic or whatever.
Yeah, and eventually I was like, I'm getting a Honda. Yeah, and then I'd got a couple things. Literally like. This Red Bull TV show I got on was like one of the first things where I was like, okay, I'm finding momentum out here.
What'd you do on the show?
It's like a music competition show.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was cool. It was random. Not my style, but.
Yeah, but you don't like people like that.
Yeah.
For someone that loves to network, you don't like, and I'm speaking for you.
No.
I think me and you are similar that we don't like fake interaction.
Well, yeah. And they're literally like telling you to come in and say you're hi to the dude. I literally went in and dapped up the guy. Oh, we were supposed to film that. Come back in, dap him up. And I was like, well, I'm not an actor, but I was really stoked to see you the first time, but I don't know really how to recreate the fucking magic, bro. Yeah, I do like this one kid. They're like, say that music's your life. He's like, hell no, that's corny. I was like, I like you. I was like, I probably would have said it because I was nervous and like, you know, I was like, I like that you stood up for your shit, dude, because that was corny. Yeah, but it was cool. And then, yeah, High Times was like, I came back to perform at the High Times Cup, you know, out in Oklahoma. And then.
What year was that? 2019?
Yeah, something like that. And then just came here for the show, went back, and then, yeah, got the job to like host for them because the owner was at the show and thought I was a goofball. I'm like, he wouldn't call. He was like, you always act like that. I was like, I don't know. I'll take that, man.
You're like, I'm just being me.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I was just backstage being an idiot. Yeah, so got to do that for a while, and then COVID, so it's just like, fuck.
And COVID slowed it down.
Yeah, COVID was like, all right, I'm hosting High Times, but there's no shows anymore. I can't go interview anyone. You know, I can't really do shows, and then realized Oklahoma was like pretty much not giving a fuck, so
Oh, yeah, that's true. During the COVID times, it was like 2 weeks.
Oh, my God, yeah. No one could. In Cali.
That first 2 weeks was a big deal. But then after that, it was like
2 years where I was from in Cali, bro.
Yeah.
And you get like a $500 ticket if you walk outside without a mask. Like, I was in Calabasas, like this big art house. Like, they give $500 tickets just for walking outside without in public. I was like, I'm going. Yeah, and then got, you know, like had the job, like the paint offer from Thunder when I was like back for a little break. And I was like, you know, that's my sign to like, unfortunately, take 10 steps back to try to, or take a step back to take 10 steps forward. It's like, the last thing I ever want to do is be back here, bro. Like, for sure. Ego hit hard, yeah.
How do you feel then since you've built so much here? Does it still feel that way that you feel like you're behind?
Well, when I got back, I had nothing. I didn't really have much, and I like hadn't really, my paintings weren't really evolved. I was not near as good at painting. I really wasn't like, had no more traction for my music. I was finally
so it was like a lull.
Yeah, I was like changing from Chief Piece to Kid Lennon, you know, so it was like this weird thing where I was like rebranding and like now I'm living in Moore again where I like left, dude, yeah, in this house that I had to re-question everything. I was like, what is going, did you just like, are you failing or are you like, or is this strategic? Yeah, I was like, I really couldn't tell. I was going crazy being like, I don't know what to do, bro. Like, you never wanted to be here, much less in Moore, much less. Yeah, but I was like, well, if you are here, maybe you use it and like build something that lasts better. Because you obviously felt like you built something, so you left, but it wasn't sustainable. Like, I always want to like
build more this time.
Yeah, I want to walk around the world, but I always wanted my first footprint to be in Oklahoma, you know. But like, I felt like I made that when I left, and then I realized, oh, like I made it on like this small Hubley crowd / my high school friends, like. Oklahoma didn't really even know what the fuck I was. It was like this group that like kind of pumped my ego enough to be like, you're on it. And I was like, no, like I have nothing sustainable. I don't have like consistent anything to the point where I was in Cali washing dishes again and bartending and like went from being a full-time artist here to, yeah, working at Kohl's to pay for my van to work again because it's broke down in the middle of Cali and the closest thing is Kohl's. And I'm like a 26-year-old dude who like was just performing for like with his idols, like
Yeah, you just open for Wayne.
working at Kohl's, being like, I swear, like I'm talented, and like, but maybe I'm delusional, and like I don't know. Yeah, it was a weird.
What's that like when you like? How do you not go crazy when you just literally opened for Wayne, which is insane?
He's the reason I started, and it
Right.
was like.
And then now
And
you're
I
at
thought,
Kohl's.
and nothing evolved from it because I didn't have any business structure. I didn't understand that, and like, it was heavy, dude. It was probably the like heaviest part ever. And I'm sleeping in a van alone, like being like, this looked cool. Like everybody and everyone thinks I'm thriving is what's crazy. Like no one knows I'm working these jobs in Cali. Everyone thinks I'm out here like making moves for music. I left on a high note. Yeah, to the point where like half the reason I was like making side money is because Oklahoma kids like buying features and random shit, not realizing like, bro, I get less plays than y'all probably right now. Like yeah, but it was like this illusion enough to be like, all right, yeah. But then I started like, yeah, just every day. It was like work this bullshit job, sleep in your van, and go to Panera and like figure out what the fuck you can do different this time, you know?
What do you think led to your connections though? Just like being in the right place at the right time and then just taking action? Because it seems like you've really connected yourself.
In what way?
Like with the Shack and opening for those people, and then like the Afro Man stuff, and then like the thunder painting. Like you've always been connected in a way. Is it just because you don't take no for an answer, or you take the action, or
no
it
for an
can't
answer
be all
and
luck?
say yes to everything. Yeah, it is luck. I think luck is when preparation meets opportunity, you know. And I'm like, I so felt prepared for everything always. So if I see somebody who has like any, random thing, it's like I'm gonna mention that I can make this thing better or cooler. It's like it's like the Shaq thing was very much just luck. Afro Man was like, all right, like I literally came up with this concept. I thought of the whole thing. I stayed in his DMs until he finally answered. I just happened to like remix his biggest song, and I wrote his verse that he actually did on the song. So like I had this whole concept, the beat. I had someone sing this part to the point where I flew him out and was like,
just taking risks.
Yeah, I was like, hey man, here's what I want to do. The day of, he was only in town for a day. He could have easily said no. I already had my sister flown out to shoot the video, all the extras, and he hadn't said yes yet, but I knew he would say no over the phone. So I was like, get him here, show him. Yeah, and like literally after a couple of talks, he was like, let's do it. He's like, I get it. You know, it's like the whole point of the song was the remix came out too late because you were high, and that's the funny part. And let's do it. Yeah, and we ran it, and it was cool. So it was like that was like a brain baby to be like, all right, I like executed that, and the song didn't even turn out as cool as I wanted, but it eventually led to like, oh, now I got to do a tour with him, and I got to do like the song that I actually wanted to make with him, which is like getting way better plays than this old remix. You know, so where I'm like, the long game of like, hey, I have these ideas. I'll stay in your DMs. I've literally just had to be like, money's ready. Because I didn't even like, he never told me a price, but I was like, I got like $1,000 set aside for something special. And I don't have any idea besides like hitting this dude Afro Man up.
But that takes a lot of risk, man, and a lot of grit to like trust that you can just put something together. That delusional that you're talking about is so cool because like, what a skill. It doesn't sound like it when you're saying it, but then like for me to interpret it, what a fucking skill to just be like, no, I think I can do it.
And I lost it, bro. I lost it for a while. That's why I made a whole album called Drowning. Because I like, for some reason, I woke up one day and I was like, whoa,
I'm done.
And I was just like, holy shit, what was that? Like, you really like didn't stop from the moment I just thought of it in senior year. I didn't stop for one day.
For almost what? 8, 9
For like, almost 10 full years. And then I was like, holy shit, I never even thought to slow down and look at this or what's going on. So yeah, it was definitely like, I don't know, dude. Definitely a realization. I don't even know. I lost my train of thought.
Bro, you're fine. I think it's so cool though, because
delusional, yeah, that's the word.
The delusional is so cool.
It's the last thing my dad said. We don't talk, and that's the last thing he said to me. Like, you're delusional. And I remember being so offended at the time, bro, and being like, man, like, and then it hit me, and I was like, maybe that's
the gift.
I think that's why he was a DJ, bro. My dad's a DJ piece. Like, And I'm not blasting, but it's like, man, like, you know, you do what I do. We would have been best friends in a different life, but
And
like,
you were Chief Piece.
and I think, yeah, that's what was crazy. And we don't talk. And it was just like,
What a collab. That would have been dope.
yeah, bro. And
What was with the rebrand?
the whole thing? It was just, this Chief Piece is like a box I'm putting myself in.
Oh.
Yeah. I felt
How
like
so?
everyone if you see featuring Chief Piece, you probably think it's going to be about weed or some peaceful. And I was like, I'm that, but I'm a lot more than that. I'm like an angry young kid who like tried to search for peace because I wanted it so badly, but it wasn't. Yeah, I was never that, and I can't portray that all the time.
You're never that.
You know, it's like that was, and I would love to be. That's the goal, but I am Kid Lennon, which is like the mad kid who looked up to John Lennon and wants peace, and that was like this weird concept of like, don't lose the kid in you, that like the fire in you that like wants to change the world, you know. But
you said it earlier when you were like, "This is like the kid bedroom I always wanted."
Yeah, don't
Like
lose
that shit's
dude.
so important.
Oh my god, bro. I have segues. I got the dog eye out. That was my teddy bear as a kid. I'm like, I care about these things are like, because I think, yeah, life is you're a kid and then you grow and then you do your best to unlearn everything that's not you so you can become the kid you again. Like by the time you're old, you know, that's what the book I'm reading is about right now. And it's
What's
like
it called?
Falling Upward. I was talking about that concept to the person who owns Film Ranch here. And they were literally like, I have a book for you. Cause yeah, I'm like just trying to get back to what Barrett was. It took me like for a while, I just lost what Barrett, I forget that Barrett started this. Like, you know, this little kid, it was like, you know, just scared and only drew because he was anxious and grounded all the time and like wanted to create because he didn't know how to express himself. And like, you know, I forgot that that's why deep down I'm doing this, you know.
Like, be there for him.
Yeah.
And show him
like,
that it's okay.
And show him like you can and you are going to do all this. And then despite the people who call you whatever delusion, that use that as the motivation, you know, it's like I took, you know, a lot of it. My sister had to remind me. I had a Hollywood show and I tried to invite my mom. And, you know, we've been building our relationship forever. And I love her and thank her for being a single mom, but we never connected, you know, we're working on it. And like, we had a fight the day of this Hollywood show where I'm finally performing where the Beatles performed. Like, this is like my name's on the marquee. It was so cool.
Damn.
And, you know, she was the single mom, always had the weird boyfriend. So she wants to bring her weird boyfriend instead of my little brother, you know. I was like,
gosh.
I lost it. And I was like, no. Like, I've worked so hard for us to finally, for you to just show up and bring the right and do it. And I was so childish and mad, but also, yeah. And I was like, don't come. My sister had to call me. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't even do this show. I'm like fucking out of it. And she was like, do you not remember why you started this? She's like, you didn't do this to impress mom. You did this in spite of mom. He was like, do it. She's like, spite her. Have the best show you've ever done. Let her show up. She was like, you don't forget you do this out of like, yeah, the angry you, Barrett, that like wants to prove to the people around you that you're valuable. And yeah, that's a weird rabbit hole to fall down because you're constantly looking for validation from others. But
in a sense too, it's like, be there for you.
yeah, but the younger self wanted me to do that. My younger self would love the fact that I just killed some random rap show full of weed and Bishop Don Juan, the pimp, in the corner. And my mom is like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I'm like, yes, I love that.
But picture you in the Paseo sitting there just screaming your heart out for an hour in the heat.
Oh my God.
And then now you're on the marquee.
Literally for like $4. Oh my God. I would sell paintings for like $5 each and they were just giant paintings. I didn't give a shit.
You're like 6 of them. That's $30.
Yeah, because I was like, that's literally like a shift. I like got that at waiting tables. Like, if I could get anything that matches me waiting tables all day, I could finally quit my job. Yeah. Oh my God. So I just go by that damn fountain in Bricktown all the time. Getting in trouble by the cops. You have a vendor's fee? I was like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
And I'm never getting it. So
I really love something you said though when you were like, I had to get back to Barrett. And like, even when we were at that basketball tournament recently, and I saw you and I was like, what's up, Barrett? I'd be like, with people like you that have, and it's not an alias, I guess, I don't know, but like built a name.
yeah.
I'm like, am I being rude
that's
by not
funny.
calling them their
That's so
nickname or
funny.
like their...
I think it'd be weirder if you did. Then I'd be like, what? You know me, bro.
That's why it stood out to me when you brought it up because like, and I know we go deep and then not, but like for me, that means that you never lost you because that's who I know. So I even like other people that are in the music industry that I know or something, I can never not call them their name. Yeah. And like for you to bring that up, it hit for me because I'm like, man, that's cool that he still remembers like him, because I remember you rapping. I remember Skinny Jeans and you rapping.
Hell
and like just being a menace.
Yep.
Just a menace.
The worst, bro. I was one of the worst people, dude.
But you weren't. You were just like, you just
was.
weren't fucking around. Like you were just like being you, being funny, talking shit.
Yeah, but it turned to some fuckery where I like definitely like had to get the dreads and grow as a human because I was like, oh yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, I needed to grow, and this was like a thing where I was like, I'll write a letter to myself on how I'm going to grow with my hair. And
when was that?
2019. Last time I cut it was in Kyle McCoy's bathroom. Yeah, and fucking made that decision. Shout out Kyle, man. Yeah.
Shout out Kyle McCoy, man.
Yeah, he like got me after I was homeless and let me move in with him, dude. Yeah.
And you cut your hair then?
I like cut my hair that day and I was like, all right. I was like, if you want to do this, you're going to grow. Every time you notice your hair growing, you're going to have to make your growing. Yeah. Cause I was like shitty and I was like not, I was obviously like sleeping outside half the time, but then it was like I was stealing, and I think that was the worst thing. It was like I was this little thief. You couldn't invite me to your house party. You couldn't like, and secretly I think that reputation was getting around where it's like I was embarrassed of what Barrett became purely out of like, I thought it was out of necessity. I was like, I don't have food. I don't have any clothes. Everybody's got fucking new Nike socks every week. Everybody's got, eventually I just started stealing from stores, and then it started stealing from homies. And I was like, got to a point where I was like, who are you? Like, I get that this started because you didn't give a fuck about your reputation because you felt like you had nothing to uphold, but also the young you again will click every now and then. It's like, you were supposed to do something cool, Barrett. Like, you weren't supposed to be that.
Crossing that line is tough.
Yeah, I was like, it was like sad, and sleeping at Kyle's house and being like, what are you, bro? Like, yeah, and so I was like, let me grow with this thing. And still, every year I write my letter on that day and like how I grew the past year, how I want to grow the next year.
Really?
Yeah, I got my hair right there, dude. Like I literally just did my last little trim.
So you trim it once a year too?
Yeah, and I write my letter. I'm like, those ones are little. Those are actually my extra trims because,
man, I love that, dude.
Yeah, I keep them all. I've got too much old hair.
That's so cool.
Growth though, and it was just a thing. It's like, oh, that's the only thing on me that's like constantly growing. So
yeah, well, no matter what you're going through.
Yeah, you have to, and then I'll look and I'll be at my dreads long and I'll be like, oh fuck, like have I like, yeah, am I a better person than I was when I looked at them the last time and noticed this?
That's so cool, especially to be vulnerable about like the bad stuff and the good stuff. That's why the positivity hits even harder. I mean, that's why.
What do you mean?
Like, because you can recognize the bad stuff you did.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why when you do have these moments of growth, or writing a letter, or being with your fiance, or hanging out with your dog, or creating this beautiful space, like that's why that stuff hits harder. Now, does that mean that everyone should have like this lowest of low to enjoy the fruits? No, but it's like,
but it does help you enjoy it, man.
Man, because I would be lying if I told you I didn't ever hit any lows.
Yeah,
like
bro.
I've hit lows,
and that's what I was wondering. I was like, I know it's interview in a way, but I'm like, dude, I want to catch up on you because I'm like, I've saw a different. I'm like, this is in full vulnerability. Is the dude who just like was the cool dude who sold me weed and like
what? No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
Sorry, dude. 10 years is over, bro. You're good.
No, I'm kidding. You said so.
I would buy half grams before work, like a fucking little ratchet, dude, with my mini blueberry swisher. But yeah,
dude, the minis,
bro. It was like,
you're like, I need the tobacco and the weed.
Yep. I still put a blunt in my bong because I like.
Just can't take it out of you.
It's for life, bro. I'm cool with it. It's my one thing. I'll take it, dude.
But no, I'm vulnerable and I'm open, so continue.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm like, I didn't know you well. I just looked up to you in a way where it's like, okay, he carries himself well all through high school. It's like there's not a single person going to dislike you. And I was constantly offending fucking people and going too far with a certain joke or whatever, to the point where I was like, this dude like carries himself well. And it was cool to watch. And the people like Sydney, where I was like, I want to be these people's friend, but like, I'm not like, they all got something going on. And then I didn't feel like I kept up with anyone from Southmore for like this solid 5-year period. Then I like tuned back in and there was like maybe 4 people that was like, oh, they're like really like thriving. They're like glowing as humans. You know what I mean? And you were one of them where I was like, oh, okay, what? He's like a realtor? I don't know what. And I know that like, I'm like, I could never even, I don't know. It seems like my first homie was like making money, and like doing something like of like, oh shit, like a business minded friend. How cool. Like, Because I always wanted to be the kid who had a business. And I was like, oh, holy shit, that's dope. And of course I want to connect and be like, oh, I don't know how to connect besides just show my love and support. I'm like, hey, I'm watching. This is so cool, you know. But I never knew like that weird transition phase of like, I don't know, you know, life was heavy for almost everyone and more. So I'm like, anybody who like was able to get out of that bubble alive even, you know, it's like, I think that's the weird thing. And then end up thriving. I'm like, how did your transition go from like living in a little house and more, like literally, like, I don't know. No one was set up for success. I feel like that much.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. It's unique in a way because Moore is a nice suburb. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Yeah.
But it is unique in a way that there's a lot of trials. And like, I will say this, a few things. One, you said like everyone liked me. I usually got a lot of people thinking I was like some type of asshole or something because I didn't talk to enough people. They'd be like, he must think he's better than us. I was like, I just don't know you.
Yeah.
But,
interesting.
For you never know what someone notices. Mm-hmm. And for you to say the little house, man, like,
I didn't even want to say
no,
it.
no,
yeah,
no,
but
no,
it is something I
no, I mean it in a good way.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I
like,
take
that's
it,
how I look at it.
No, I take it as positivity.
Yeah.
No disrespect. I take it as love because that shows that like you know. And
I can picture. I know the street. I know the house. I know the corner. I'm like, yeah, dude. So I do, and I'm like, man, like he
just pulling up and me coming out in the driveway.
Yeah, and he can own that street now. And not only that, like he probably made everybody who was in that house proud and did it in a respectful, calm way always, you know. And that's where I'm like, I have a bravado to what I do that makes it that I don't, you know, I see the value in people who do it like the calm, steady. That's how I look at you. Like he's just like, yeah, that's probably why people didn't think you were so exuberantly talkative, where it's like,
they're like, why is he an asshole? I'm like, I just don't know you.
But
they're like, when you get to know him, he's cool.
I just thought it was like you and Nick Williams. All y'all are just like, young Usher. Like I always look at him as Usher. I was like, he's just like the coolest dude ever. Like, you know, and Zach's one of those. Like they're just like cool ass kids, and I'm like this nerd who like is goofy, but like I really like. I think they're dope. You know, Nick asked. It's the first time I smoked a blunt. And fucking ever was Nick hitting me walking by and be like, white boy. Hey, little white boy, you want to hit this blunt at lunch? And I was like, me? Little old me? I was like, hell yeah, riding around the Caprice. I was nervous and shit. The fucking mirror tint.
Yeah,
the
mirror
speaker
tint.
on the outside of
horn.
the car.
Yep.
I was like, bro, we are going to get pulled over. That's all I could think. His seat was so far back. I
could only see his hand.
Oh my God. I was like, I'm so scared. And then I went back to class that day and like had the best day ever. I was like, this is my new life.
Man, the stuff you're bringing up it's so hard. Like,
I know,
for you to have those memories with Nick is so cool.
Yeah, bro. He changed my life. Like, this whole weed world I'm in is because, like, this one dude one day, like, showed me the vibe of, like, oh, you can, like, connect with people you've never talked to. You can come back to class and be a little less anxious. Yeah, and I remember, like, I won a little fucking trash can basketball game right when I got back from class. First time I ever came back high. Like, if you make it, we all don't have to do the test. And I was like, took my headphones off in the back of class. I was like, oh. Made it. I was like, oh yeah, dude. I was like, this is it. I'm smoking every day. It was so dumb. It was that one thing where I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing it. Yep.
This is what made the difference.
Literally since that day, I was like, Nick changed my life, bro. Yeah.
I love that you say that though, because I always talk to people about him. Like my wife knows so much about him.
Oh
and
yeah.
she's never met him, never.
Wow.
No, but she knows all these things. And that's what I say too, though, is I'm like, man, he was kind of better than us. Like he was, and I don't mean it in a negative.
Like his heart too.
His heart, he was clean. Everything was tidy,
pristine, bro, pristine.
He didn't let anyone mess around with his name. He was just so precise. And man, so in my office at home, on my windowsill, there's a picture of him. But in my bedroom, there's a picture I painted of him. We did a stencil class.
That's cool.
Where they do like the number colors, and we painted him like 9 years ago.
You gotta send me a picture, though.
I will. And so when I'm going to bed, I see him. Aww. But then in my office, I see him, and it's funny. This picture will make you laugh. The one in my office is one I screenshotted from his Instagram and printed off because I think we were 19. No. We were 20. I was 21. He was 20. He was the first one to post himself smoking. Oh, and that was like a big,
shit.
like out of our group.
Yep.
Because that wasn't a
No,
thing.
that's crazy.
That's
bro.
so he was sitting, and people maybe know this video or this picture. He was sitting like on his balcony at some apartment, and he's got like a Jordan outfit on with the cutoff with the shorts just clean.
Yep, always.
And he's just smoking a blunt. And I remember him posting that, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, we don't do that.
But he knows how to make it classy. And
So
like,
literally
so
on my
vibe.
windowsill like this is a
That
picture of him
picture.
sitting there smoking a blunt. And I always think when I'm sitting there looking at him, I'm like, and I speak out loud, I'm like, man, I hope you'd be proud. Like, I think you'd be proud, and I think it'd be cool for you. I wonder what you'd be doing right now because of how advanced you were.
He was so ahead, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I think his like heart for people and animals and
The animals was a big deal.
yeah, and like you said, his like knowing like the respect on his name at the same
Yeah, he
time
just
as
didn't
being
play.
like a gentle human that somehow didn't. Yeah, the collar with the necklace around on the outside. I remember everything about it. I was like, he's the coolest, bro. He taught me so much in a short time. I didn't get as many memories as everybody, but he like made an impact on my life to the point where I was like, man, like
It made an impact to where you're bringing it up this much later.
oh yeah, and I think about it every time I pray. It's like there's the few homies that passed. So I'm like, yeah, it's
You know, like Kyle McCoy,
Oh my
Nick,
God.
like you got to bring it.
yeah,
up,
Blake
you know?
Vale, fucking oh my god, there's too many.
There's too many.
And that's the hardest part, bro. I'm like, I feel like I had more funerals by the age of 25 than I thought I'd go to in my whole life. And
I think it changed a lot of us, some for the worse, but a lot of us for the better, where I feel like once that happened, a lot of us, the ones for the better, just like kicked into appreciation mode where they're like, I'm going to live. I'm going to live. I'm going to live.
Yeah, I think it changed everything in me. I was literally, those first few, I was like, oh, it's really like precious. Yeah, and like, you know, my sister graduated before me, and she still hasn't had a friend pass from high school. And it's like, I
Whoa.
love that for her.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like, and I look at it, I'm like, we had a weird curse. You know, there was a lot of pills, there was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of sadness, there was a lot of YOLO. Yeah, I think YOLO fucked everyone up. But the wake up calls were intense.
They were intense, especially when we would go to something like that. We would be, you know, at a funeral, and we all see each other. So like, we're at Kyle McCoy's, and we're just like,
Oh. And what really matters.
and like you're looking at Skylar or Dylan. Like I grew up with Dylan.
Yeah.
Like so when you talk about like how I told you Sydney, Dylan was like 3rd, 4th grade too.
Wow.
Like we used to play in a cul-de-sac, and it would be me, Dylan, Sydney, and like 2 others. And that's all we played basketball with for years.
That's
And like
crazy.
Skylar, we used to get belligerent drunk at 14 at my house and just hang out, and
Skylar.
just so many things that we did together, and something that you'll appreciate, especially now doing a podcast and being so much in the limelight like I am sometimes. Nick's funeral was the first time I ever public spoke in my life. And
Wow.
I didn't think it was that monumental at the time. And looking back, like, I know that when his mom called me, it was like she was asking, but not. But she said, I want you, Nico, and Jesse to speak. Nico's not going to do it, but I want you to do it. And I just said, okay. Never spoke in front of nobody.
That's crazy.
Never. Not even like in school, in high school, when we do your presentation.
Yeah.
I was never good at it. Always.
You're so comfortable. I would never imagine.
Always
that,
like kind of stuttering. Bro, when I would get done, you know, when you'd go back to your desk, bro, sweat.
Really?
And maybe I had a poker face to where I got through it, but just terrible. And I remember going to Nick's funeral, and I'm in this big ass church.
Beautiful.
There's 500 people there or something. And his aunt goes up and his cousin goes up, and then it's my turn. And I'm like, just shocked that I'm doing this. And I walked on stage and spoke, and it was a huge moment for me. Like, and one of my best memories of Nick, I think, was I hadn't seen him for a while. Go to his apartment. Me and him get to play. We played Madden, but I sucked at Madden. So I never was good at Madden. And I don't even know what the defense is and stuff. So he was like really good. So we played the game. Then his mom showed up. Then his girlfriend at the time showed up. Then his cousin showed up. And we were like 5 of us in his living room chilling. Wow. And I remember looking over at the couch. And Nick was between his girlfriend and his mom. And he was just like cheesing because they were kind of roasting him a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was just cheesing. We had smoked before. We're just chilling. And then I remember walking to the door, telling him bye, shaking his hand, same old, see you later, slick. And I think he died like a week later. And yeah, it's crazy to think how it can happen. And I'm like, what a blessing. And I told his mom this on
that
Christmas.
was probably the best possible last little minute.
Possible last. And I remember on Thanksgiving last year, I showed up at his mom's house and she hadn't seen me in a while. And she was like, in my ass. I just walked in. Mm-hmm. There's all these people there. So I just walked in and she's like, who are you? Because I had the blonde braids. Oh, wow. She couldn't really recognize me. She's like, Zach? And I'm like, yeah. And I told her that memory and she was like, wow, that means a lot that you remember that. Because I'm like, yeah, the last time I saw him, he was by his mom.
Yep. And his heaven on earth right there, bro. Yeah, because it seemed like he was very family. Yeah, very.
And I'm really grateful you brought him up.
Man, yeah, he's still I got a bookmark from the funeral. This thing is
that bookmark.
Yeah, I still use that, dude.
See, that's the stuff that's why when me and you saw each other walking out of sushi, it's like, yeah, can we just touch?
I feel like there's a bigger way to. That's how I feel like Sydney did not like me all through high school. I'll say now, I tried, bro. I tried. He was cool at first. I think he started hating me. And the moment we saw by one funeral, it was like, all right, we're dapping up. The second funeral, it was like, all right, bro, like let's cut this shit. Like, obviously, like, we're just glad that we're both here and happy and alive. And and unfortunately, I see him again a month ago at a funeral. It's like, oh, by this time, we're best friends. Like, I love you, dude. And I can't wait to come to the next comedy show if I can come. And the last thing is the little high school ego. Cause I'm like, oh, that just sinks away the moment, you show up to a funeral and you're like, oh man. Yeah. Candace's is one of the ones that hit me the hardest. That was my little big sister, my fucking bestie.
That was tough. That was tough for you all and me, but I wasn't there every day.
Yeah, Candace was my bitch, dude. I love that girl, dude. She was shit. The last thing she told me was like, "Hey, I got some advice for you." It's so annoying. I got some advice. I get what you're trying to do right now, and I passed away in a few weeks after. I was like, I'll go to her grave consistently, and I'm like, what was it? Maybe you're secretly no. So for always, I'm like, and I went and prayed right before this New Year's there. And I was like, I am ready for like a bigger level of things. And like, I don't know what that advice was, but if you could seep it into me, like I definitely, and it was very much like a week later, a lot of buzz started happening. And like, okay, it was like, and maybe it's because I was in tune as well. And I don't try to get too deep, but I also am like, man.
Why don't you?
I don't know. I go between spiritual religion and science very hard. I think it's I think scientifically about everything. And then, I was raised Catholic, got to a point where that was obviously a little too far one way where I was like, okay, I went the complete opposite. And then it was like, okay, I'm in tune with what this is and this experience on earth. But I never like to box it into any one thing or one name or one. Yeah, to the point where I got to a point. I think I got jaded over the years. So I was like, I got completely almost superstitious OCD because I was like, everything has a purpose. Everything I do is like tailored to this bigger reaction to the universe and this ripple. Even if me putting my hand here to the point where I was like OCD, I couldn't even live because I was just so. Yeah, just to realize, like, I don't know if that's too far one way or if it's maybe you can just live the experience of life and stop trying to figure the question of it out and just dance the dance.
Yep.
And so when I dance the dance, I think I just don't even question or think about, I'm just like, I'm aligned with whatever this is. And I'm so down with it. And I speak to it and I pray to it every day, but no label to it, and I go between, like the butterfly effect of everything / like, if there is no purpose, I'm also cool with that. Mm-hmm. I'm totally cool with like this just being a cool little thing we did, and like in this little earth suit I'm given, like, I'm definitely cool with that. But I also like would like to think we have purpose and have, a reason to be here and affect things.
Well, on a simple note, to show you like there is purpose, like, or meaning, even me and you sitting in this nice ass studio, bro, the listeners that know us will know, but just like for the others, this shit was not possible at the time. Like us growing up in
No.
our situations,
No, dude.
like you talking about the house I grew up in and you being homeless and all these things. Like even this, it's normal to us. And me showing up and getting to pull up on my motorcycle and see your space, and I'm so happy.
Cool.
Like
So cool.
it's cool, but I think the reason it's so cool is we know like how far we were from it.
Yeah, and do you think that I guess aligns with purpose, or is that just a whole lot of fucking self-given, like the scoreboard in the sky? I'm like, I don't think the sun cares if I was good at business today. So I think that's where I'm always like, I feel like I make all these advances, but then I get to a point where I'm like, am I just running on a hamster wheel, I guess, for like no reason? Am I forgetting that this is like a big play and I took the role too serious? And
I'm big on this serious because sometimes I do it too.
And that's what I guess I'm wondering, where I'm like, do I take it all too serious? Where it's like, cool, you got a little fucking place, it can all be taken away in a second, but then I also like want to enjoy it.
I guess the balance, or not the balance, but the idea I'm thinking of is, yes, it can always be taken away. So I'm not saying these things as like a description of our success. I just mean like, me and my wife and I were talking about it the other day. How do we know how to make a home safe and quiet? Like, how did we know how to do that? And it's like, oh, I guess that's what we wanted. And then I come here and you're like, oh, this is the bedroom I wanted.
So you're saying each of those things had purpose and intent to even bring this to life.
And like also,
and
also just like being appreciative of it in it, because it is easy to like look at the next thing in our line of work. With me being real estate and you doing music and art, like those are definitely careers where you have to focus on the next thing.
And the moment's always the most what we're supposed to be in.
And
how do you balance that?
I try to just catch myself. Like, I think recognition or recognizing when you're having those kind of not negative, but less than positive thoughts is a win in the right direction, because you took a second to breathe. And I think that when that happens, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes after, you're pretty intentful. You're like, I'm going to just enjoy this. I'm going to have my cup of coffee or my tea, or I'm going to hang out with Jimmy.
Completely.
So
in the moment. Yeah.
As long as you can just stack those, because you're not going to be like a monk, and you're not going to
Took me a while to realize that.
Yeah, you're not going to be a monk. You're not going to be some
I've meditated
Catholic
every day
priest.
for 10 years to realize I'm basically the same Baron I was when I started this journey, but I definitely like know how to attach to the moment easier, and that's where the piece is. Yeah, it's like,
and sometimes I'll be like doing something, even this, and do me and you have other stuff going on? Yes, but this moment's important.
Yeah.
Whether it's 10 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, whatever you're doing is important. Like the stuff you're doing now, building a family and like building a life. Those things are important.
Yeah.
And we didn't come from situations where there was a ton of structure. It's just straight up. And like, that's why I really love interviewing people that I've known forever, because you never know what stood out to them. And you bringing up like the house and serving you and all these things I did. One, it's good for people to know, because I don't give a fuck. I'm very vulnerable and I know what I've become. But also it's good for me, because I'm like, see, that's why you go so hard.
Yeah.
That's why you meditate, or that's why you stretch, or that's why you work out, or that's why you work hard, like, or that's why you give. That's
and
why
all
you
those
love.
things show, dude. When I even just speak to you, I'm like, dude, this dude is in tune. He does this. He's fucking, that's such a rare, beautiful, it's refreshing to talk to someone like you, bro. I'm like, it is the best. Cause like, okay, yeah, he has intent with his words and his actions. And yeah, there's something to that. And you giving somebody your full attention is so, yeah, I think.
I didn't know it was
a
important
gift.
to me.
It's a gift to someone, man. That's so rare.
I didn't even think of it as that at first until like I got into multiple episodes.
Yeah.
And someone told me, one person that I had interviewed said, "Hey, I've never told my story. That was awesome." But then later on, someone else that I was just chilling with, I can't even remember who it was like, "Man, it's crazy you give these people a platform to just like be heard for the first time." And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you, what?
That is what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
People need to be heard, bro. That's why I started doing music and shit, and I still feel like constantly no one wants to hear you harp on your story. And even if, yeah, I'm sorry if my answers are long-winded, but I think that's part of it is like, man, like you really give that comfortable space to be like, man, these are things I haven't thought of either. And I haven't been as proud of me maybe as I should have, you know? And like you even acknowledging that as someone who's known and seen the journey from like, oh, you started right out of high school. I'm like, I did. And I forget, like, there's people who know that because I do this, you know, I went to a show in Virginia alone this last weekend and it hurts still because I'm like, I was supposed to do this with people. I was supposed to bring fucking Skylar and Kyle and all these people who told me I was good at rapping. And I told them, I'm going to bring you on tours because I owe you for believing in me, you know, and things and life so hard to where I get in the thing where I'm like, I wanted my people here still, and I'm like, oh, I still got a Zach, you know, I still got the other homies I can call, and I do appreciate that, and I'm like, okay, you know, I don't feel as alone in conversations like this. I'm like, oh, someone was watching the whole time. How cool! Like,
what's the same that you're saying to me?
Yeah, like you were watching. I was like, I just felt like I was in an echo chamber, you know. Yeah.
No, now that watching from the outside, I mean, because were we in tune with every single step the other one was taking? No, but we were recognizing it.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. I mean, as long as the relationship I have with someone is clean, I'm always going to be that way.
Right.
Like, I have no reason not to be. And the compliments you give, like, honestly, that means more than any of it because I'm not looking for those. Me and a friend that I interviewed, we told each other we're going to be better about receiving them. That's why you see me not deflecting.
Nice.
Because I want to be better about receiving them because
you worked hard to do it. Because you worked hard for these things that I'm commenting. They just didn't just fall into place, bro. You fucking thoughtfully put these things into play in your life. You consciously decided to be better at listening and talking and working out and having a home that feels like it's like sustainable for growth and calm, and like these things were super intentionally well manicured, worked hard for, and no, not many people even do that, bro. I'm like, and they're not giving that gift to themselves, so it's like a lose-lose. Unfortunately, it's like
you'll laugh at this. Some people that like are new to my universe or my wife's universe, they'll see our space just like I could have if I didn't know you.
Yeah,
like, dang, Barrett he must have just been a rich kid. He's in the Wheeler district. Like, that's how people will think at first. And you're like,
oh my God.
You're like, bro.
Oh, I think everyone still thinks I'm like a rich kid from Edmond who got dreads and decided to rap. I had someone say that to me. They're like, man, I can't lie. Like, I would have just thought that. And I was like, I could see that. And I'll take it. Yeah, and eventually they'll know my story. I don't really have much to prove. Like, the people who know me.
Yeah, well,
I'm a big on, like, I don't take it personally if you don't know me personally.
That's fine.
If you know me personally, then, yeah, I'll probably worry about it. If you're like, hey, you're spoiled. I'll be, oh, okay, let me check myself. But, like, dog, not a single thing. I could tell you exactly where everything in this room came from and exactly how hard I worked to get it and sustain it. Yeah.
It's a big deal. And, I'll be in my house sometimes. And
how good.
I'm sitting there and the thing that tripped me out is the other night my wife went and hung out with some friends. So I was just by myself. And I was like, I just want to have fun. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm going to have fun. So I grabbed a little Bluetooth speaker and I turned it on. And I'm just shooting pool. And because I bought a pool table about a year ago.
So fun.
And I'm like, why do I stress so much? Like, obviously I have stuff to take care of. But I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I look over, my 2 dogs are asleep. My music's playing. I'm drinking a local beer from Lively, one of the breweries I like.
I shout out Lively.
And I'm just shooting pool, and I'm like...
Yeah, and you were like all the way to the... Oh.
Yeah. So that was what I was kind of alluding to earlier when I told you the recognition. So in that moment, I noticed that my outer self and my inner self was having fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to live in it. Instead of like thinking of something to shake it off, I was like...
No, I'm going to just ride. Yeah.
And so...
Fully be a kid.
I just played for about an hour and then just chilled on the couch. And then my wife came home at like 11:30. And it's funny, if we're together, we go to bed at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But if one's gone, it's like we can't sleep. And then when they get there, you want to catch up. And then we're like, oh, I'm good now. Yeah, I can rest.
Rest.
Those are just little examples. And
I love that you got to fucking fully immerse in that. In like something that you Yeah, the rare moment. I think the look around and seeing your dog relaxing in life.
I'm like, look how comfortable that motherfucker is.
Yeah, life's just life. Every time I shroom, I rarely still. I do like once every couple of years now, but literally, I'll go out to like my land and I'll look at the trees and I'm like, y'all, I've just been here the whole time. I've been going like so fast and crazy, and y'all are just like vibing in the wind. Like y'all literally probably look at me like I'm insane, but I also like it's good to know that life's just kind of always here and the vibration is always here, but it is good to feel alive. It's like I'm big on it's better to be busy than bored, but as I get older, I'm like, I want to be bored every now and then, dude. I'm like, it feels good because bored means you're just fully here. I don't know.
Sitting.
Yeah, I'm like trying to get myself time to be bored every day. I think it's good for your brain. Like,
In the morning, sometimes I just really try to not rush myself, even though sometimes I have to. Like this morning, I had to wake up and do 10 things.
Yep.
But there's some mornings where I can wait, or some evenings where I can wait, and I just try to soak up the moments. But I gotta say, bro, I know we had been waiting on this because of schedules, but for some reason, we were meant to connect a couple weeks ago at the basketball thing, which is random as fuck because we never played basketball together in our life. Not me and you, I don't think. Maybe once or twice.
We gotta play, dude.
And so we're there, and then it's all love. We set this up. You're flexible with me today. We sit down and do it. And we get to not only talk about your music journey, the ups and downs, the trauma, the good things, but also you get to open me up to not only my listeners, but to myself. To where now when I leave and I've got this 45-minute drive to my next appointment, I have no other thing to do but like be grateful.
I love that, bro. Same.
I appreciate you, bro. The door is always open whenever you want to come back, and I'm glad that no matter if we talk 4 times in a month or 1 time in 5 years, it's always love. And I just appreciate you. If you don't have anything, we'll wrap up.
No, I'm just thankful. I'm proud of you, dude. And you inspire me. And yeah, keep inspiring people and giving them that platform to be heard and fucking know that you are like that inspiration to so many people, dude. I'm like, without, you're quietly just changing the world. So keep being you, bro. I love you, man.
Love you too. Same to you, bro.
Dude. Hell yeah, dude.